welcome back everyone, and today I have for you a shot-for-shot breakdown of The Challenge Season 36 Super Trailer that they just put out. I have gone through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, and I am here with a shot-for-shot breakdown, so let's just jump right into it. This Super Trailer starts out with Big T getting ready to jump out of an airplane, and then when we move over, if you pause it correctly, you can see in the back of the airplane, and the people that I can make out in the back of this airplane is CT and Fessy, without a doubt. When you can see here is just CT, but if you have a different shot, a different angle, you can see Fessy, you can see CT, and then there's somebody else in the back. There's either one or two people in the back, but there's a glare on their faces that I can't exactly see who it is. It may be Nani back there. Let's move on to them actually jumping out of the airplane, and Big T is freaking out. I would do the exact same thing. Then we move on to TJ walking out of a cave with a ton of voiceovers. Also, this looks kind of like Arrival, almost one of those like sci-fi, another planet fog type scenes. But all the voiceovers that happen, we have Big T saying, "You can trust me," Josh saying, "You got too many targets on your back," a man competitor, and I think it's CT, saying, "Everyone is so shady," Wes says, "You lied to me," Jay says, "I'm in the middle of a war," Kyle then says, "They cannot be trusted," Casey, "You trust me, right?" And Josh says, "I don't trust you." Maybe there is some shade going on in the Big Brother Brigade. We have another shot of TJ walking out to these voiceovers, and then the challenge, big ol' explosion, because there has to be explosions. Then we move into a ton of people going into an elimination, flashing with this orange hue on their faces. We get a great shot of Leroy here, then Nani, Darrell, Teresa, Anissa, Wes, and then we have Cam, and on this voiceover she says Killa Cam activated, and this picture was so nice that I put it in thrice. Then we move on to TJ when they're meeting TJ for the first time. He's coming in via a helicopter, comes out, and then that's when he looks at everybody and says, "Welcome to the challenge, double agents." Transition into the elimination grounds for this season. It looks like they're in the middle of a strung out elimination right here. We move on to Natalie, where she looks like she's getting strapped up to do maybe a strung out elimination. And Natalie says, "I'm completely fine playing double agent and lying to people." Then we move into, again, being in the middle of a strung out elimination. We can look up at the top of everyone watching this elimination, and there is a ton of people just standing there. And to me, via the hair, I feel as though that the person just hanging there, not being able to get over this hump, could be Ashley, and then I cannot make out who she's going up against. Again, I can't make it out 100% because I can't see the helmet, but I feel as though that because of the hair that this is Ashley. Now there's an explosion happening on this elimination, and via the height of this challenger, I can't make out their face 100% just because of the exposure of the explosion, but I think it could be Amber, especially the size difference between this person and the person to her right. Then we move over to another shot of people watching an elimination, clapping, and from left to right we have Liv, Michi, Cam, and Gabby. Cam looks excited, so does Liv and Michi, but Gabby does not look very excited. Then we move on to what looks to be an eating daily challenge. We have CT. He is chomping down on, I don't know what that could be. It could be lettuce. It could be something else that's disgusting. I have no idea what's coming out of his mouth, but CT looks fired up and ready to go, and he's looks to be with his partner in a cage, and I think that could be Big T. Then we move over to this shot of the a wrestling ring on top of the truck's daily challenge. It looks like this is Fessy. Anissa is sitting down on the side, and whoever Fessy is fighting looks to try to be taking off his shirt like he's playing a hockey, like in a hockey fight, trying to pull it over his head. Or maybe it's like a parent whose toddler got a spill on their shirt and they decided to just rip it off of them. I have no idea what the strategy is of the person going up against Fessy in this shot, but we're getting a Fessy shirtless photo right here. Then we move into another round of this daily challenge, and of course cannot figure out who is going up against who. But then we move over to this challenge shot, and these are completely different people. It looks to be possibly, maybe, I have no idea who that is, but I see blonde hair. It could be Tori, it could be Gabby, it could be maybe Nicole Z. They're going up against what looks to be a tall, skinny competitor woman, and I think it could be Amber B, which could put that as Darrell as one of the guys in the background. I don't know. This one's going to be one that I'm looking out for. Then we have a competitor doing a long distance run. Maybe this is for a daily challenge. Maybe this is for the finals. Then we have the modified Don't Let Go daily challenge from the Duel 2. We saw this in the other trailer. We saw this in some of the teasers. There's only about 6 skulls on the ground. So could this be the possible 6 pairings, the final 6 pairings of the challenge? Then we move over and we have Nam really struggling, holding on to his partner. In this VO, someone says, "Let go, relax, relax." That's when we get a shot of Nani screaming, "No!" We also have the people dropping here, and we can make out some of the names on the helmets. We have Leroy right there. It looks to be Jay. It looks like Teresa, Nam, Lolo, Amber B. Then we move on to seeing the person's name who is being dropped in this, and that is Anissa. Look at that pause. That pause has that name clear as day. Everything else is blurry except that name. That's like in the movies when somebody's like enhance, and that's exactly what it is. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Then we move into this daily challenge where it looks to be puzzle stations, where everyone in a duo gets a puzzle station, but then they have to go find their puzzle pieces in these like minefields with these torches. And what they have to do is they have to run over, they have to dig up one of their pieces and then bring it back. It looks to be that way. When I counted the people, I can't make out a ton of people in this picture, but when I count the people, it looks to be 19 people. So this is going to be one of the earlier daily challenge, it looks to be like. But some of the people that I can make out in this frame is Big T, Nam, CT, Fessy. Again, I see long blonde hair. It could be Gabby. It could be Tori or Nicole Z. Darrell and Amber are around. Then we move on to Devin in a cave trying to decipher a code, and Devin is having a voiceover saying, "This game was made for me. I am a double agent." So Devin is feeling himself. Then we get a picture of Ashley at her station for a daily challenge. To me, this is going to be like the wire cutting daily challenge that we saw. Ashley's voiceover says, "You sold your soul to the devil." And of course, we get a quick shot of CT laughing maniacally. Then we move over to Corey on his bunk saying, "People have no problem lying to your best friend for $1 million. Then we have this splicing in shots of Nelson in an elimination looking like he's in yet another hall brawl. We know what happened last season, as you can tell. That's Nelson. And then we move over another one and he's flipping over and Nelson is clearly on the helmet. Nelson possibly looking for some redemption in the hall brawl from what happened last season in the last elimination right before the finals in Total Madness. Don't know who he's going up against just yet. Then we move over to this daily challenge shot where it looks as though that people are going to be doing this long obstacle course of transferring a log through this obstacle course, and they have to get it through a wall at one point. Then we move over to Darrell and Amber in this daily challenge, transferring their log, coming out of this giant pipe, coming out of the sewer. It looks like they have to transfer this log or multiple logs multiple like lengths and distances. Like, it looks to be a long daily challenge. Then we move over to see the other side of the wall where they had to throw in their log, and it looks like they're gonna have to put their log through, get over the wall, and possibly not have their log touch the ground at any point. Possibly, maybe. But we have Fessy, we have Anissa working together in this daily challenge. And Anissa is having a voiceover saying, "I'm sick of seeing the same people win. This is my time." So she is coming in ready to fight, ready to get that challenge win, her first challenge win. Then we move over. We're about 1 minute in, by the way, of this super trailer. Then we have this shot of Josh getting in Fessy's face, telling him that you think you're the only big, bad, tough guy. Nobody is scared of you. And as we can see in the background, we can make out some of the people, which is Leo right over here. There's people in the kitchen area, the living room area. We have CT because he's going to be the one later down in these clips holding a blanket around him. Maybe that's Nani in a pink sweater. But then we move over to Fessy, who looks incredulous that Josh is saying that nobody is afraid of him. And in the background, you can see Cam and Tori just having a front row seat to this fight. And that's when we get a picture of CT just enjoying himself on a lawn chair. Then we have Leroy also taking part in watching this. And then Fessy is getting back at Josh saying, "You're scared every season." So basically telling Josh that he has no room to talk in this fight. Then we get a shot of Jay consoling Teresa, which I think they are partnered up earlier in the season. But Teresa is saying, out of all the people, why am I here with him? Then after she says that is a quick shot to Wes. Maybe Wes is just being a friend listening into this, or Teresa could be talking about Wes. They do have a past with each other. It doesn't seem like she would be upset with a rookie. It sounds like it's somebody that she's played with, has a history with, and it wouldn't be surprising if Wes was the cause of all that trauma and struggle. Then we move on to a daily challenge where everybody's in cages, and this could possibly be the eating challenge that we saw CT earlier on in the super trailer. Also, if you remember the other trailer that the challenge put out, there was a point where Corey and Gabby were being handcuffed together. It looks as though that people could be handcuffed together. The top right cage could be Corey and Gabby. We also look over here. The top left could be Anissa and Fessy. Maybe the guy is hunched over. It could be a smaller guy. It could be smaller than Fessy. Then we pull out a little bit more, and you can clearly see Amber is in the bottom right cage. And then I think this could be either Kyle and Nani in this cage in the bottom left, or that could be CT and Big T in that cage. And then Big T right here is having a voiceover, and then we go to her saying, "This is the time. We have to be physically strong. We have to scheme. We have to play the game." And then we have shots of Liv, and then we have shots of Gabby right when she's saying that. So she could be talking to the rookies, trying to get them on her side, telling them how to play the game, how to start playing the game. As we see from the next scene, we have Wes, CT, Natalie, Nam, feel like that's Ashley on the bottom with her hair in pigtails, as we saw in Total Madness, and then Lolo. And that's when Natalie is telling everybody in the room that they are using the rookies to try and get rid of us. Who is them? Who is they? I have no idea, but it seems as though that they're having a powwow, they're having a discussion, they're having a strategy talk. Is CT part of this group, or is he just taking a nap? We're gonna have to wait and see. Then we move on to Tori checking her nails. As we pull out, we see that it is Fessy and Corey talking to each other, and Fessy says, "We can't control the game." Corey says, "Do you know what they are gonna do?" And then Tori says, "They're gonna put you two against each other," which is frustrating to Corey, because I know if I was going up against either one of my best friends or even Fessy, I would be downtrodden too if I was going to be going up into an elimination. We move over to a beautiful shot of a waterfall, a couple of beautiful shots of a waterfall, which turns into this underwater daily challenge. This kind of reminds me of the gasping for air daily challenge from Vendettas. When trying to get the perfect pause, it was really, really difficult. I think I saw on the one side of the helmet that this competitor's name ends in Y, and then on the other side, I think it is either an L or an F, so this could be Fessy, this could be Leroy. Then we get a shot of people running up this mountain. I cannot make out anybody in this shot, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this mountain running up, and I'm sure there are people behind these 5. And then we move over to what appears to be 2 people running another long distance, possibly the finals. Could these 2 shots be the finals? We're gonna have to wait and see. Then we have TJ with a giant gold skull behind him, and there is voiceover that says, "The only way to make it into my final is to get a skull." This season, there's a twist. There's only 10 skulls. There's a gold skull behind him. If you tweet with the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag the challenge or hashtag the challenge 36, it puts a gold skull next to that. It's a gold skull emoji. So to me, this is a clear indication that the red skulls are out and gold skulls are in. Gold skulls are limited. They are only for an exclusive group, and I think that's what they're going for with this idea of the gold skull rather than the red skull. Then we move over to people in elimination. We have Kyle. We have him going up against somebody. I could not find out who he's going up against, but this is Kyle, and they could be playing a pole wrestle. They could be doing something like a crazy 8 in this elimination. Then we move over to Darrell, who is being tethered by a line. We see some poles on this side. This could be the yanking my chain elimination, which he was a mercenary going up against Nelson in Vendettas. This could also be kind of like the looper elimination because there are poles, and so I was thinking possibly they're gonna have to run around the poles and then try to ring their bell on their side. Then there is a voiceover going into Nelson running down the hall for the hall brawl. Nelson has voiceover says, "When it comes down to the elimination, people get hurt," maybe possibly talking about a hall brawl. He is running down this hall. He hits whoever his opponent is. His opponent, we do not see the name, but this opponent looks taller than him, and looking by the tree trunks that is this guy's thighs, I feel as though that this is Fessy versus Nelson. And I know Nelson is a beast in elimination, but Fessy is a beast in general, and I worry for Nelson. He couldn't beat Rogan last season. I think that if he is going up against Fessy, I'm not going to count out Nelson ever in a season, in an elimination, but going up against a beast like Fessy is going to be tough business, especially in a hall brawl. Then we move over to see Tori, Cam, and Nicole Z standing next to each other, watching the eliminations. Tori yelling, "Get an effing minute." Then we get a shot of Josh with spray painted either volleyballs or soccer balls, and he looks to be throwing it in what appears to be, he's either trying to hit a certain square in this wall, or he's trying to throw it over the wall. And I can't make out who that person is behind TJ. And then we move over to Kyle in the elimination, and it looks to be like he is like throwing up, and I did not get a shot of the full-on throw-up scene because I just don't want to do it. I think it's disgusting just seeing the spit coming out of his mouth, but it is dark liquid. It looks like he drank like what to be a brownie mix, and he just drank that instead of baking the brownies, and he just throwing it up. But Amber is yelling out right after seeing this that he is throwing up blood. If that is all blood, Kyle needs to go to the hospital because he is dying. We move on to a quick transition to the strung out elimination with an explosion happening on this side. Then we have CT standing outside, listening or talking to somebody, possibly hearing some strategy, maybe talking some strategy. But then we have a quick glance over here to Jay talking to someone. Maybe he's talking to CT. Maybe that's just what the editing team wants you to think. But Jay in this scene is saying, if you want to be real, step up and be real with me. Otherwise, what the F do you want? and somebody is standing next to him in leopard. I don't know exactly. I can't make it out in the reflection behind them. Then we move over to Darrell, who is standing what seems to be in a doorway, listening in. Either he's eavesdropping on somebody else's alliance, or he is talking to somebody. Then we move over to Cam talking to people in a room, talking to her alliance. Kyle's here. Then we see Leroy also. But Cam is talking to people saying the safest route is throw people in with no ties with nobody. It's better than sacrificing one of us. Then we have the shot of Leroy being like, yeah, that's exactly what the right thing is. And then we have this baller shot of Cam. This is a fantastic shot of Cam. She looks like she is putting on a hit on somebody. She looks like the godmother, ready to just take out whoever she wants to take out. We have Nani. We can see Nani. We can see Fessy. We can see Jay. If I got the right shot, Jay is right there in the back. I think that's either Fessy or Kyle. Then we get quick shots of other elimination rounds. We're about 2 minutes into this clip right now, but we get quick shots of elimination. We have this elimination ring with a buzzer on the ground. Devin is hitting the ground where he's tethered to something. I don't know what he could be doing or what this elimination could be. Then we have Nani looking to be in what looks to be either a crazy 8 or a pole wrestle, but instead of those options that she's holding onto a blue ring, and she's in a physical elimination. Nani looks to be going up against what could be Gabby Allen from Love Island UK. Then we have CT doing some Cirque du Soleil stuff in the air. It looks like he is tethered and he is just flying from one side to the other. And then we move on to Anissa in an elimination with what looks to be spray painted soccer balls or volleyballs. I feel as though that we're going to be getting the same eliminations and they're going to be going through. So maybe we're going back to like a Rivals 2 situation, or back to when the seasons had only 4 eliminations and they just kept on switching back and forth between the 4 eliminations. And then we have a shot of Leroy, which he looks to be going into the elimination of the modified strung out elimination, which he did in X's 2 and destroyed it. He destroyed it on a log. So I can only imagine that he's going to absolutely beast this thing out when it's steel and all smooth. Cam looks absolutely not enthusiastic about what's going on in this elimination. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe she's just over somebody's crap and she just wants them to be put into the elimination and lose. I think somebody dumb pissed her off and they're gonna have to answer to get in the business later on. Then we move on to Amber, who's saying that she is cool with turning on anybody now, like she does not care. So it looks like possibly somebody burns Amber in this season and she's just ready to just be done with it. And I have to say, speaking of Amber, I don't remember seeing Amber M much in this super trailer. So that is a no bueno situation for her. But Amber B is in this thing a lot. So that is a good news for her. Then we move back to the minefield daily challenge where we see an explosion happening and we can see a couple more people now. Again, I don't know who that is in the far back with the blonde hair. I could see Amber, Darrell from the back. It looks like Kyle is very tall and it looks like he's taller than Darrell and Amber. So I feel as though that could be Kyle. And then we have a mud daily challenge that reminds me a little bit of War of the Worlds or War of the Worlds 2 kind of thing, where somebody's going to be having to grab a ball or something and have to wrestle it and bring it to their spot. There's somebody in the back. I cannot see who that person is. But then we have Cam, Nani, and Lolo all getting to the ground, hitting the deck. Nani's getting tackled, Lolo's getting tackled, Cam is on top of them, and then Big T is standing right off to the side here. And then we have a ton of people running through this daily challenge, and I can make out a couple of people here. We have Nam, Lolo, then we have Fessy on the other side, Darrell, Nani, CT, Josh, Kyle, Cam, and Amber B. I cannot make out anybody else, but it looks to be like that's majority of everybody who is in this daily challenge, it looks to be like. And then we have another shot of it with Lolo out in front, Josh is there, and then we have Nam jumping over a hurdle, looking all cool like an action movie. And then we move over to Josh, Casey, Jay, and a producer all outside. Josh looks to be visibly upset. He is frustrated with how the night is turning out. It looks like it could be him being frustrated at somebody getting into one of his fights in this season, and he is punching the wall. Casey telling him to stop, and he is just punching that wall. Could do damage to his hand, not the wall. Then we have a spelunking daily challenge where somebody is being lowered via a mineshaft elevator, and then we have a couple of people, like 3 people in this mountain, in this cave. Maybe this is the Decipher daily challenge, but I cannot tell anybody in this shot. I just could not get to see their helmets or know how tall people are from the different very heights that they're all standing at. Then we move back to where Josh is yelling at somebody, first of what's going to be possibly a couple of times in this season of the challenge, but we have Anissa trying to hold Josh back, a producer trying to hold everybody back, Casey on the other side just watching, trying to like monitor everything. And then we have what I hope is the other side of this fight where CT, Big T, and Kyle are on the other side. It looks to be Fessy in this reflection here, so that's Fessy over on the other side of them. But I hope the goodness that Josh is yelling and getting into a fight with CT and possibly Big T, and CT is just going like, ooh, like, okay, keep on yelling. And Big T could be trying to like squash the beef, calming everybody down, trying to save her partner CT from possibly getting into a physical altercation that could jeopardize anybody's game. But of course, Kyle is just cheesing over there. And then we have this daily challenge of yet another cave. It looks like they could be in Mars, they could be down in the ground in Iceland. And when taking a look at these people, at the count of everybody that's in this shot, I count a total of possibly 13 people. Then we are back to skydiving, can't see anybody in this. And then we move back to possibly either the beginning stages before Josh is yelling in the kitchen, or this is the aftermath. And then we have Casey, Fessy, and Josh, the Big Brother Brigade, talking to one another. And this is where Casey is saying that before I try to show my cards, I need to know where their heads are at. This is where these 2 people are getting in their boat, and then they have to get off the platform holding onto this rope. How far do they have to hold on to? We're gonna have to wait and see. I can't make out who is on there, but I can make out that this is Big T, and I think that this is the daily challenge where everybody's holding onto the cargo net. This cargo net's being flown back and forth. This is like King of the Hill on a cargo net, and they're pushing people off. Big T is gonna fall off in that daily challenge. Then we move on to Wes talking, saying that this is the most paranoid game he's ever been a part of, and everyone is saying everything. Then we move on to Nelson and Leroy fighting, wrestling each other on the wrestling rink, the wrestling matching ring on top of those trucks. But Nelson is then talking and saying the whole power trip, you think you're safe, don't get it twisted. And in the background, we see Michi, we see Leo Rush kind of listening in on it. And when we move over, it has it talking to Leroy, and it's like, excuse me, Nelson? Excuse me? Then we move over to a daily challenge where it's ice breaking. We can see Corey's doing this daily challenge. Josh is also in the background. And maybe Cam is also in this background, way in the back. Then we move on to the Don't Let Go daily challenge yet again with the ropes. This is the ropes on the back end that I saw. And we see that Darrell and Leo are also in that daily challenge. Then we have Gabby and Fessy getting to know each other very well. Leo is pissed about something. Then we move over to Kyle and Teresa, and Kyle is saying he looks like he was carved by angels. And then when the camera moves over, it is Nam, and I have to agree with him there. And yes, Lolo approves of that comment as well. She is very excited, I have to say, about that. We move over to a water daily challenge where we can see Nicole, Devin, Nelson, Amber B, and Darrell. I don't know if I have a shot of Darrell, but he comes in. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Darrell is also in this water daily challenge. That water has to be freaking freezing. I hope they don't have a ton of water daily challenges, but we already see like 2 in this super trailer. Then we have 2 people capsizing on their canoe. Kind of reminds me of the Free Agents finals where Zach and Devin flipped over in their canoe. We move over to this daily challenge where it's the metal hamster ball, and it looks to be 5 stations. Could there be only 10 people left in this daily challenge when this daily challenge is played? I know 2 people in each hamster ball. So there's only 10 people on this board. Here's another shot of it. Can't make out anybody. They go over a geyser and it splurts up. Then we also see Amber and Michi getting to know each other very, very closely. Then here is the underwater daily challenge with the hooks and rings. Like I said, if you make out the name right there, that is Leroy, and you can't really make out the partner's name on their helmet underneath the water, but right afterwards we see Nani being able to be popped up out of the water, and at one point she is saying, being a rogue agent, all hell is gonna break loose. Nani's gonna be a rogue agent at some point in this season. I still don't know exactly what that means. And then we move on. Again, this is another shot. We can see Fessie's hair in the background. It looks to be somebody trying to get in the middle of Anissa and possibly Amber M. I feel as though that could be Amber M. And then somebody is dragging that person away from them. And then we have Lolo in the background, not amused whatsoever. Then we have the cargo net King of the Hill kind of daily challenge on the helicopter. Somebody is falling off into the water. I feel as though the person on the right-hand side is Casey. And we have Big T. This is a big one that was put all over the internet, all over Twitter. This is Big T, what seems to be getting ready to go into a hall brawl type situation, and she's getting ready by practicing on CT, her possible partner at some point in this season. And then we have the Mud Pit Daily Challenge. This time we see guys. There's 5 guys in this challenge as of right now, right here. And the people that I can make out is Kyle, Josh, Fessie, and then it looks to be that Kyle possibly has the ball or whatever they're going after. And I was able to pause it at some moments, and I think this could be CT tackling Kyle. And another thing that gets me that thinking this is CT is because there's a voiceover with CT saying there's no easy route in this game. Then we move over to Corey and Tori bringing out a box, a treasure in a net, and they're bringing it out of water. In the background, I think I made out Leroy and Cam in the background. Tori is saying at one point in this point, "This is the trickiest game I've ever played in my life." Another shot of the truck with a giant wrestling ring and more explosions, because that's exactly what we want. More explosions. And then we have Devin and CT outside enjoying a cup of joe, talking with one another, and Devin is saying, "It's a secret agent game, it's a rogue agent game, it's a double agent game, but let the games begin." And then boom, logo, the challenge, double agents. See ya on Wednesday. Also see ya on Monday for the Declassified episode 0. But that is the whole 3-minute trailer broken down shot by shot. I did the best I could watching this thing multiple times on 0.25 speed, 0.5 speed, and normal speed. I tried to pause it a ton of times. I've watched this thing a billion times, and I did my best to try to find every single name on every single helmet. But now I turn it over to you. What did you think about this super trailer? Let me know that in the comment section below. Did it get the hype stronger for you for this season, or did it kind of make you feel like, meh, it was all right? Let me know that in the comment section below. Were there names that I could not read that you were able to pick out? Let me know that in the comment section below. And what do you think is happening in all this trailer? Is there something that I missed? Let me know that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really, really soon with more challenge double agent content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.